Before you do, though, I would like to take you on a quick trip along the equator, along the 0 line, just to give you a sense of what one may find if they follow one degree of latitude or longitude. So we're going to start out here. Mr. Rucky is going to take a little walk around the equator, and we're going to start off right here at 0 and 180. And of course, at 0 and 180, I'm not standing, of course, I'll be swimming because I will be in the Pacific Ocean. So you want to note the fact that you're in the Pacific Ocean at this point. So you put PO right there, right at about the 150 line. Now, as Mr. Rucky is swimming across the equator, the first minor landmass I come to is a little set of islands where Charles Darwin did his research on evolution called the Galapagos Islands. So you want to put a little GI there, little dots around the 90 and 0 mark. I pass over the Galapagos Islands, wave to the fish and to the birds, and eventually I come up to my first landmass, my first major landmass, at 10 degrees east of 90, or 80 degrees, and you might want to write down 80 degrees right there. And that first landmass, of course, is Ecuador. The country is called Ecuador, named after, of course, the equator. I come up, I pass over, I go from the altitude of sea level on the coast, and I rise all the way up 9,000 feet to Ecuador, the capital, and I continue on, and I leave that country, and I end up to the next country, a little country where there's Juan Valdez and his burro, and that, of course, is Colombia. So I go to Colombia, and as I leave Colombia, I then am going to travel until I hit 45 degrees in a great country of samba and all kinds of other wonderful things called Brazil. I could actually write the whole name Brazil in there. If you cannot, that's okay, just put BR. I also want to note that there is a little river that ends up right at the end of Brazil and actually runs through the country just south, and that's called the Amazon. So I'm just going to put AM there for the Amazon River and draw that in. Okay, so now I'm back in the water again and I'm swimming. I'm swimming again as I continue to head across the equator. I hit my next body of water, and that, of course, is going to be the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm going to put AO, and I'm going to put it right just south of the equator, noting that I'm in the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm going to continue to swim across the Atlantic Ocean until I get to my next major landmass, and that, of course, is going to be 10 degrees east of 0. Not unlike the fact that I was 10 degrees east of 90 there, and I'm going to be hitting the continent of Africa. And like the continent, oh, by the way, I didn't mention this as well. This, of course, as you probably know, is South America. Do not write that down there. I'm just indicating that to you. You don't need to write that section down. As I come across, I just realized this is 30 degrees. 10 degrees east of 0 is right here at 10. So I have 10 degrees, and it's going to go just like South America. South America went across at 35 degrees. Africa, which is this landmass here, is going to go across 35 degrees as well and end up at 45. Again, don't write this information right there, but go ahead and indicate that you're at 10 and 45. The countries you're going to come across, the first country Mr. Rucky's going to encounter after leaving the Atlantic Ocean is a little country called Gabon. If you ever watched Survivor, the last Survivor took place at Gabon. They call it the last Garden of Eden. As I leave there, I go through two smaller countries. I go through a small country, the Congo Republic. I put down CR for Congo Republic. And then a larger country. It was once run by the Belgium, now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. As I leave the Democratic Republic of Congo, I have just 3 quick other countries: Uganda, Kenya, and Somalia. Somalia, you might know from the news, of course. Somalia is where pirates in the last couple of years have come and have actually abducted several ships and held them for ransom. One of the reasons why that's happening, of course, is because Somalia right now has no functioning central government and is actually one of the most corrupt countries in the world. So Mr. Rucky would probably hurry through Somalia if I was walking through there at that point. As I leave Somalia, I'm going to go into one more large body of water called the Indian Ocean. So I'm going to put IO there. And as I continue across the equator, I eventually come up to 90 again as I'm swimming hard. Now, the last time I came up to 90, I was 10 degrees east of 90. And the last time I was at 0, I was at 10 degrees east of 0 before I hit my major landmass. The last major landmass begins again at 10 degrees east of 90 at 100, and again is going to go across 35 degrees, just like the other two, and end at 135. And this is, of course, island country of Indonesia. And in fact, there are three major islands that go there. And they are actually spelled CBS but backwards. So you think CBS, and that stands for Sumatra, Borneo, and Celebes. And so eventually, after I leave those 3 islands, I'm going to hop back in and be in the Pacific Ocean again. Now, the reason why I shared that with you is because this will allow you a chance, by looking at those major markers along the equator, you can place your continents and allow you to set up your entire world by cutting and pasting the rest of the continents on there, if you know about where those positions are. If I was to draw this in really quick, I could show you roughly where South America, Africa is. I may come in, and by the way, I will not expect you to do this, but this is just a way for you to have a sense of a reference. If I was to do South America, it might look something like this. Something like that. Africa, of course, is going to look a little bit more like this. It's going to come up here. I should probably get rid of that. Quickly make a drawing here. Going to come up here. Going to have a hammer through there. Going to come over around. We know it also with a little Madagascar there. And of course, you've got your 3 islands of Indonesia. If you were to continue to draw in some other parts of the world, I may begin then looking at, just as a little sense of where things are. It's somewhat difficult, but you can get a sense of where the rest of the world is. And you can look at your cutout shapes, just giving you a sense of a better way to know where most of the land masses of the United States. I'm actually going to refrain, just for time's sake, from drawing in the United States and Europe, because they're a little more complicated. However, even just using that, you can use the shapes that I've given you to arrange the map of the world. Another step you'd want to use is your textbook to be able to line up your continents with the various markers using latitude and longitude. Hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any further questions, please see me at any time. Thank you.